this episode, join Andy, Dean, Aaron Williams, and Big Cuz on their journey home from IWA Mid South in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Welcome to the road home from wrestling.
Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors, and it's the only way I live in cars.
All right, well, we're headed home from another week at IWA Mid South. My name's Andy, coming to you live to tape from the road home from Wrestling World Mobile Headquarters of the world. And I got Dean in the front seat. What up, Dean?
What's up, guys?
When's the last time you were at IWA, Dean?
Probably TPI 2019.
Probably or definitely?
Definitely.
Okay, all right. Awesome. Well, I mean, we're back. What do you think?
Glad to be back.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's not the only person we have. We also have, making his triumphant return, former owner of the Road Home from Wrestling podcast and 5,000-time IWA champion. It is Aaron Williams. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Just being awesome.
That's what you do, right?
That's how I live.
That's awesome. Well, and we got one more person to introduce here. He's big. He's not bad. He's not too tall, but he is big. We got Big Cuz making his podcast debut. What's up, Big Cuz?
You know what? I will allow those statements.
He's definitely the biggest cuz I know.
The biggest cuz.
I'm not sure if that's what your birth certificate says, or if you're just somebody's cousin. And if that is the case, whose cousin are you?
Yeah, can we clear that up?
Okay, like, are you a cousin of somebody who's famous? Therefore, that's why it's important that we know that you're someone's cousin. As he sips water, contemplating his reply.
That's classified information.
Oh, it's classified.
Oh, okay.
So is it political? It must be political.
It's got to be, right?
What's government, stuff, right?
Government stuff.
It has to be, right?
Russian government stuff, maybe?
Is it American?
I don't know. You tell me.
I can't tell you because
Hey.
I'm asking.
Hey.
If he tells us, he has to kill
He's
us.
dodging perfectly good questions. He is related to
They're not
politicians.
perfectly good. They're probably a 55-mile-an-hour fastball. All right.
Okay, awesome. Well, tonight was IWA show. Did you guys catch the title of it? I didn't. I know IWA always has titles.
Winter Wars,
We-
right?
I think it was Winter Wars.
Winter Wars. Okay,
Yeah.
we always fail to mention that. I apologize for doing that. But, yeah, it was a great show. And, just kind of a real quick update on what's going on with IWA is that right now they have kind of joined the whole IWTV group with Smart Mark Video merging with IWTV or IWT.TV or whatever the fuck it is.
IndependentWrestling.tv.
There you go.
That's what
And-
it is. IWTV for short.
Okay.
Well, and you can sign up right now using IWA Mid South, I think is the
I think it's IWA-MS.
MS. There you
Swipe
go.
the code.
And you get 20 days free. You can watch like all of the IWA shows are slowly being put up there. Actually, pretty quickly being put up there now. And basically all the Thursday and Saturday shows that come up are now going to be up a few days later. So the show we're talking about right now, you can go on IWTV and watch here in just a couple days. So
You said you can get it 20 days free.
You got it.
There's no reason not to watch it.
Because
It's
we're
free.
talking about IWA, but there's a ton of fantastic independent wrestling
Absolutely.
on there. Stuff from Freelance, St. Louis Anarchy, Black Label Pro, all that stuff, Shillin' stuff. I'm on a lot of those shows. That's
Oh,
why-
are ya?
Yeah.
Well, you know what shows we're on that you can see us sitting in the crowd?
I want to know.
You can see all those unsanctioned pro shows on there
Yeah,
too.
those are on there as well.
You know,
That's
I
right.
mean, and
I wrestle there sometimes too.
yeah, just the one time, right?
Just hey, I'm trying to make it more often. Right?
I made an
Give
attempt.
me a break.
I mean, I hope we see both you guys up there. That place is fucking awesome. But tonight we're talking about IWA Mid South, and we're coming back for a Thursday show. I was on vacation, and we just happened to pick up a few wrestlers that were thumbing it up the road. And so, as we do what we do. Dean, what'd you think of the show?
It was a good show.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Well, we got to ask the question. As soon as, Mr. Aaron Williams got in the car, he threatened to kick you, and he wanted to know what your favorite match was, but you didn't say. Did you?
No, I didn't say.
Are you ready to say now, or do you want to wait till later?
We'll wait till we get to it.
Oh, okay. All right. Dean.
I don't know if I like the way you're playing this, man.
Well, you're not the owner anymore, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Oh,
So
that's right.
You're just a passenger now.
I'm just a passenger.
A passenger that can knock us all out. All right, Dean, what do you want to say?
We're going to get all the way to the end of the show, and I'll make my favorite thing about the show, the company. And it'll be like a sweet moment for us all to enjoy.
Well, you just spoiled
I
it.
just spoiled it.
Everybody's spoiling everything. Yeah, that's great.
That's a good guy.
Well, set this all up for us, Dean. What was where was this at, and what do we get going on
So it's
first?
at the arena in Jeffersonville.
Sweet home.
So I guess that's the only place that IWA is currently running out of. I kind of miss the fact that they can't be the real IWA Mid South out of the arena, but we've talked about that many times before. Still very good shows. The first match we kind of went right into the show. We usually get a little bit of a promo from Ian. We didn't get the Ian promo this time, which is it was a classic IWA thing that used to happen.
If it was at Memphis, he would have yelled at us for a few minutes, but, and then started the show. But we'll get back to that eventually. So, what was the first match, Dean?
Brandon Wolf going up against Lucas Jacobs.
Yeah, and Dean noticed something immediately. He was like, wait a second. Jonathan Wolf is also on this card, and we got this guy, Brandon Wolf. What's going on here? How many Wolves do we have?
No. Jonathan Wolf spells it with no E at the end. Brandon Wolf has an E at the end.
So they're not related. They're not of the same pack.
Yeah.
I would say, what do you remember back in the day? Jonathan Wolf used to say, he'd come out and he'd say he's the lone wolf, but his gear all said Wolfpack on it. And we were like,
make any sense.
What the fuck?
It doesn't.
So, I think we made the Lone Rangers joke too at that point. But,
Sorry to be interrupted. Just pointed that out.
So, but anyway, this Brandon Wolf guy, he comes out kind of, normal looking dude, long hair. These guys both looked very similar, right? Because Brandon Wolf and who was his opponent, Lucas Jacobs.
And one thing that I didn't even realize until right now, we know that Brandon Wolf and Jonathan Wolf not related. What about Lucas Jacobs and Dean Jacobs?
I don't know, Dean. I don't know. I mean, they're probably... what was his name? Lucas Jacobs, sauciest man alive. He looks a little different than Dean Jacobs. Maybe they're brothers from another mother.
Maybe they're like Ken and Frank Shamrock.
Ooh. A little different, but yeah, it could be very close. I don't know. So did
Bubba and Devon Dudley.
That's probably more like
there you go. Now we're talking. So, did you guys, Aaron or Big Cuz, did you guys see any of these matches towards the beginning?
I might have saw like the first 4 matches.
Okay, awesome.
I did not.
We saw some people peeking through the curtain, but I don't know. It's hard to tell who's who.
You didn't have your normal seat, did you? I mean, was everything okay, or was it just taken up, or what?
Well, yeah, we usually sit off to the right there. At least lately we have been, because Pat D's Nuts is usually in the house, and we usually sit near him. He was not here tonight, and all those seats had stickers on them and were reserved. So we just sat on hard cam side, which is so you get to see the back of my bald fucking head the whole show if you watch it on IWTV. So there you
At
go.
one point, did they come put powder on it because of the glare?
No one did that. So that's very. So maybe next time I'll bring some. I'll get with Pompano Joe and get some of that Freedom Powder. Put it on my head so that the cameras don't get fucked up. Or I just won't. How about that?
Or I just won't.
Tell us about the match, Dean.
In the beginning parts of it, Lucas Jacobs was kind of winning. They were just some back and forth chops, and Lucas's chops were much louder, much stronger than Brandon Wolf's. They made their way to the outside, and Brandon was able to stop a dive with like a European uppercut, and then ran in the ring real quick. When Lucas came in behind him, he cheap shot at him, and that's how he kind of started working him over, and that's where he got his moment to kind of shine in the match.
Yeah, this was a cold match, I would say. There wasn't a lot of, I don't know that there's any story behind this other than these two guys wanting to fight each other for whatever reason. And so, I mean, the crowd later on got into some of these matches. They weren't too into this one, I'll tell you that. So
the crowd was still kind of warming up. I think people were still even arriving during this match.
yeah, the crowd filled up a little bit too. We were worried that there wasn't going to be that many people there, and got 50 or 60, I think.
Yo, lately they've been having some good numbers.
It's good.
It's
You
good for
know,
the company, good
it's
for
probably because you're there.
Hey. Hey.
I mean,
All right.
people like driving through, and they're like, "Hey, have you heard the biggest cuz is here? Like, we need to go see the biggest cuz. That's like the biggest lint ball or something, right?"
Oh my God!
Not-
Well, here's
I mean,
the thing.
like-
So
like-
I'm not as cool as a limb ball. But, I see it. I'm not. I'm just a giant guy with suspenders. But like,
And a belt.
And a belt.
you gotta be-
hey, bro, no, you got to have something to hold the pants to you and up.
Really? Okay.
Oh, all right.
There
You
is
know
no
what?
device that does the both.
That makes sense. I
So
can actually.
I
get
hold.
that.
I wear a belt so my pants don't fall down,
Okay.
and I wear suspenders to keep looking professional.
I got the solution for you. All right. So wear pants that fit. Okay, and then wear the suspenders. You're good.
Well, here's the thing, fam. When you are the biggest cuz,
Wait.
you can't exactly find pants that fit
Oh,
anywhere.
Wait, did you just call him fam?
Yeah, this is where
Wait a second.
He's a kid.
Hold on.
Bro.
Did you just blow this wide open?
Are you?
Andy, tell
What?
me the truth.
What?
Are you related?
Is he your big cousin?
I might be.
He's your big cuz, isn't
I
he?
think fam is just a term of endearment,
Oh,
and I
that-
don't.
Nah,
Of course
hey,
you would
bro,
say
our
that.
cover's blown, bro.
Now we're
course you would say
bros?
that.
Oh my God! I thought we aren't even cousins.
We're not even bros. I'm cuz. What the hell, bro? Come on.
Big,
We were talking about a match or something, right?
Well, I think what's
Yeah.
going to happen is next time you come out at IWA, you're going to have a new manager, Big Bro, and it's me. You know, we're Bald Bro. How about
Big
that?
Bro.
All right, Dean, tell us more about this.
There was one
yeah.
spot that I liked where there was like a ducked clothesline, and the guy like popped back up after ducking, and it kind of taunted, and then it just got clubbed in the back of the head with like the opposite arm.
Nice.
I think that was Brandon that took that clothesline. Brandon did escape a vertical suplex when he hit a backstabber, and he got 2 out of that. And then we kind of got moving towards the finish. I don't know what it was. It was Brandon. Brandon won, but it was like a cutter where it was also spinning, so it was like a cutter and neck breaker.
Yeah, it was like a spinning neck
Yeah,
breaker,
it was
swinging neck breaker
Almost,
deal.
he almost went underneath and hit it or something. It was kind of tight.
Yeah, it's cool. And so who won?
Lucas Jacobs won.
Did he? No, Brandon Wolf won.
Brandon Wolf won.
Come on, Dean, get your shit together over there. You know?
They looked a
I think
lot
they looked
alike.
They did look a lot alike, it's true.
I think Lucas Jacobs has kind of like oddly become a little bit of like a gatekeeper for IWA
Okay.
in a weird way, where he's like almost like you got to get past this guy before you can get anywhere in a sense. And he's kind of, I think he's like a dark horse, like very important part of IWA, and he's improved a ton since he first started coming around.
Absolutely. Well, that role at IWA, that used to be Shane Mercer's role,
Yeah.
then it was Maria's role, and then it was you, I think, for a while too, even, and then,
I mean, I've done everything.
You've done, yeah, that's true, and now Lucas Jacobs, so that's, that's a good role to have at IWA, because there's always new people coming in,
Yep.
so it's always, you always got to have somebody you can trust to go in there and see if they're going to measure up, so. Anyway, so Brandon wins, right, Dean?
Yes.
All right, so he was the bad guy in this match, too. The crowd didn't like it.
He was dirty, disgusting, regurgitating heel.
Wow. A
Yeah.
regurgitating heel.
Yeah.
So you have a heel that comes out and just throws up all over the place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's right. He's gotta shout. Am I loud enough for you today?
Oh, man, you're on it. I love it. You got that Diet Dew in you.
I made the biggest cousin's ears ring. Just
I mean, hey, it can't be worse than that 3 count right in your ear, So, what was the next match, Dean?
Next match was Trent Taylor going up against Brandon Lee.
Yeah, Trent Taylor, big mean dude in a singlet, and Braden Lee.
Straight brazy, baby.
He's brazy as fuck. This
Straight
guy.
brazy.
I mean, they everybody tries to mix a little something in with him, and he's like, no, I'm straight brazy. So don't give me any of this other shit. Only braze, whatever that means.
It's brazy.
I guess it's like styling in a sense.
I guess.
It's brazy, bro. What the fuck? Isn't that hard to understand?
I mean, I just want to understand, man. That's it.
It's brazy.
Well, I'll tell you, when you install an air conditioning unit, Like that, you know, you actually braze in the lines. You don't weld them. It's like a lighter way of welding, you know, for softer metals.
So it's like hot, but not like too hot.
Yeah, it's like the perfect amount of hot.
Interesting.
So
That's very interesting.
it's probably not what that means at all.
I mean,
but
I'm going with it because I think that suits him very, very well. I mean, because he's kind of chill, he's kind of cool. But then when he needs to bring the fire, he can bring the fire.
He really can.
He can. And I tell you what, John, our co-host John, that was not here tonight, he was very upset because his favorite wrestler, you know, is Straight Brazy. He's, you know, he can't stop talking about how brazy this guy is.
Does he have his autograph?
I bet you he does. He bought this hilarious button that he was wearing. You have to ask John about that button. That button's really funny. But anyway, yeah. So details about the match.
Well, Braden was the good guy in this match, which didn't make sense to me because I instantly hated it.
Was it the song or the
Why'd
look?
you hate him?
The look.
The look.
Aw. Well, you just.
Do you want to explain kind of his look to the people who may not?
It was just very colorful, like swimsuit that matched his jacket.
It's a windbreaker.
Windbreaker.
I mean, it kind of reminds me like of an early '90s tracksuit.
Yes.
It's like an old Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very Taco Bell inspired.
Not the new Taco Bell though, with all the
like
modern
the old
shit.
school ones. Yeah.
Yeah, he almost. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but when I believe it was one of the movies, like maybe the Mannequin 2 movie or something like that, came out, Pizza Hut had this deal where you could get. No, it was Back to the Future 2. You could get the sunglasses. They were like these badass, cool, different sunglasses. And the reason I'm thinking of Mannequin 2 is because the black dude in that movie wears those sunglasses. But that's what he needs. He needs those crazy sunglasses from the 80s.
Is that where they build that world together?
Stay like strong forever?
We're trying to think of cool things for him. And Dean's up here just like, I hate it, guys. Stop it.
It's good impression.
Continue.
We're making one joke up here. You guys are making one joke back there. We got double jokes. Double jokes. Sorry.
Wrestling fans are gonna hate this one.
Oh,
they love me, man.
Our listeners
They do.
love us. That's true.
They do.
And just think of how many of your friends and family. I mean, not me personally, because I'm not your family, but you know, are going to listen to this and be so happy. You know, I just can't wait.
Aaron's on your tail, man.
All right, Dean. So
what I didn't like about him is that there are a lot of people that have a cooler look to me and are cooler than I am, but he was rubbing it in my face.
I appreciate you, Dean.
That's fair.
It's the best possible thing.
Well, tell us all about
So
this.
they took turns, kind of. They would tie up, and then one guy would back the other guy up into the corner. Ref Aaron, this was the first match he came out to. He would break him up, and then they would do that back and forth where they would wrestle into the corner. He would break him up, and then do you remember when they did the test of strength, and it took Trent a moment to realize that it was time to do that?
That was really funny.
He audibly said, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah. That's
Oh, okay.
There was a lot about this match that just seemed a little odd to me.
Yeah, they had a problem getting started. Once they got started, shit was cool, you know? It's just almost like they were like, hey, let's call it out there, and then they were like, nobody's calling anything, you know? But who knows? What else you got?
Brandon was diving to the outside, but Trent...
Braden!
Damn. I wrote down Brandon, so even as I go further in my notes, I'm not going to word select and change them all to Braden.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll change them. I'll change them for you. Braden, yes, go ahead.
Went for a dive, and it was blocked. Then when they got back in the ring, this is when he was chopping him in the corner very hard and very heavy, like quite a few times.
That was cool.
It looked like it sucked for Trent.
Well, teach you not to be where you're supposed to be, or not to know what a test of strength is, or whatever.
True.
I mean, hey, you gotta know that shit, otherwise you get chopped. That's how that works.
Trent used a modified chicken wing for a little bit. It looked a lot like it, but he didn't have his arm exactly bent back behind him.
It was like a double wrist lock chicken wing thing. I don't know. It was different.
Intubated. That's right.
Innovative.
I was
Making
saying
up
it weird
words.
for the fun of it.
Innovative.
And
It's my word, man.
anytime it's a move that's like another one, I just call it a modified of that move. Like
Yeah.
it's like a modified cutter. Cause
That's,
it's kinda like,
that's pretty close to a what a maneuver, you know.
That's true. It's true.
What a maneuver.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Is he? No. What's the...
1, 2, and oh!
Well, I don't know if you guys, one of the new things that is out there is somebody's been ripping on, as OSW Review's been ripping on him saying, unbelievable! Because he says it like a billion times. Like, especially when they were like, in the new generation era, they were like trying to like, that was a catchphrase they were trying to get over big time. So he'd say it like Vince would say it like fucking 40 times in one match.
Yeah.
So there's a supercut on YouTube of him just saying it during one match, and it's literally like 8 minutes of him just going, unbelievable.
I really need to see that.
It's awful.
Also, it should be a t-shirt. I don't know why it's not a t-shirt.
I mean, maybe it is on some other podcast t-shirt site.
Well, you should jump on that.
Asshole, fucking shit ass. What else happened, Dean?
We did get some dives to the outside from Braden. I think he did it like where he kept going back in the ring and then diving out again 2 or 3 times. Trent got a 2 count from a German suplex.
Nice.
He got a 2 count and then he went to the top for a top rope cane bump. It looked like a very painful frog splash where he landed on all 4s.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt bad, man. I'd rather land on my belly than land on my like knees from up there. But I mean,
surface area,
I
man.
feel like
I think it's mental.
I feel like when that was about to happen, I could have swore I heard somebody say, "I bet you won't move," like from the crowd.
Yeah, we had some smart asses in the crowd. One of them was sitting right next to me. The other, no, you. But this one guy was like, you know, he's gonna move like that real loud. And I did appreciate this one thing. We've seen this mistake a few times, not necessarily recently, but we've seen it on WWE TV. I've seen it in the indies a lot, where a guy's sitting there, he's going to do the thing where he moves out of the way, and he rolls into the middle of the ring instead of towards the turnbuckle. Big mistake. Don't do that, you know?
No.
So that's a good way to get destroyed. So,
well, that's a good way to destroy the other person.
yeah, that too, right? So this guy rolled, so Braden rolled towards the turnbuckle because he knows what he's doing. So
Wise choice.
Brady's choice.
it was crazy.
You know what else I don't understand? I like to do this, but whenever there's a scenario, I don't know why you just don't set up.
Okay.
Like,
You mean like sit up? Is that
yeah,
what you mean?
like
Okay.
set up. Like, just pull it.
Please don't tell me.
Are you picking on my words?
Listen,
Yes.
bro. Please don't.
You know what? That's fine.
Please don't tell me you say milk like milk.
Oh,
I
no.
don't say
Those
milk.
are the worst.
I hate that, and I hate when people that say can, they say Ken. Fuck off! It's can!
Or
You
warsh.
son of a bitch! Don't say... Oh, by the way, I got a great story about the word warsh, okay?
Oh, God.
In the town I grew up in, New Richmond, Ohio, okay? It's
yes.
a river rat piece of shit town, which used to be nice, but this is a real thing. I don't know if it's still open, but when I was a kid, there was a place that was a tanning bed, and it was also a laundromat, and it was called the Wash House. And that's, I mean, if you looked it up in the fucking phone book, it was called the Wash House, spelled Warsh.
You had to say it.
Yeah,
Oh,
unbelievable. So,
Nice.
He's oh shit.
My older brother used to say he couldn't say home, or he wouldn't say home. He said home.
Hey,
Drove me wild, man. All right, we're talking about wrestling. All right.
People that can't say toilet, they say toilet.
Toilet.
Get that shit out of here.
Well, they're trying to. Get it? Get it? Because it's
Because
toilet.
the shit,
Yeah.
the toilet. Woo! Ow! All right,
like
where we
a
got?
drum effect.
After the top rope cane bump, Braden locked on it, was like an STF, but usually I feel like the guy's kind of on like the side of the person also, but he was like, his entire body was on top.
Full mount, yeah.
Yeah.
And he also kind of, instead of like putting both hands together and like kind of doing a crossface type deal, he had him in like a a chin or like a headlock, more like, you know. It's
I've
pretty
never
good.
seen him do that before.
It was cinched in. I actually saw him do it once when he was dressed up like John Cena wrestling in a match. So, but we won't talk about where that was. So, anyway, what else happened here, Dean?
Well, that got him the win.
Okay, so Braden, it wins with this the brazy lock, we'll call it, I guess.
What it is now.
So there you go. You know,
Crazy.
awesome. So because one of these days you're probably gonna get a chance to wrestle Brazy. What's like a strategy you might use to destroy him?
I do this thing where like I can wrap like half my hand around somebody's throat, or like it'd be like half their throat with my hand, you know,
Okay.
and I can pick them up and set them down really hard.
Remind me during single intermission, we're gonna have to like have you give us a quick just kind of rundown of how to do the best choke
All
slam.
right, but here's the thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and forewarn you.
Okay.
It's equal parts technique and attitude is how you do an effective
This is going to be kind of a little tutorial for Mandy.
Absolutely, I'm
because
all
she
for
is
it.
a big fan of the choke slam, and she needs to learn how to do it safely to her dog without killing her dog. So,
All right, okay.
so we'll learn how to do that
Yeah, we'll
later.
get
But
there.
anyway, what else happened here, Dean? What was next?
The next match was Big Bad, Too Tall, Brandon Taggart going up against Congo Kong.
Unbelievable. This is a match I want. What do the kids say? I'm here for this. I'm here for this. I am here. I stand
Hey,
here
it's
for
the
you.
move.
For this, I am here.
For this.
Yes.
So many things.
Do you remember Shigehiro Irie, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he had a knee pad. One of his knee pads just said, I stand here for you. And I knew that was some kind of like awful translation of what
Yeah.
he actually meant. So we always say that as a joke. But anyway, man, this was awesome. Brandon Taggart also had Kayla Cassidy with him. So we were cheering for Brandon but booing Kayla, you know, which got complicated at times.
It was like when we boo Donnie Green and Sheer Lexi.
Yeah. Man, I wish Donnie Green was on every show I ever went to ever. He's the best. I love that dude. Anyway, all right, what happened here?
Starting off, Brandon went for an early advantage, but he missed the Pearl Harbor.
He was distracted. We were there, you know, and he knew that with his employees there watching, he wanted to make sure that, you know, he was doing the right things, I think.
Well, I think it was a last-minute decision where he initially wasn't planning on doing the Pearl Harbor, but kind of like what you said, rather than he didn't mess it up because he was nervous, he just rushed into it because he was nervous.
Okay.
Like, I can't lose in front of these guys. I got to do something.
Well, they say fools rush in, you know, and Brandon Taggart's no fool, so I don't know why I would say that.
Well, it's not like only fools rush in. It's like, but fools do rush
They
in.
do. It's true. That's true.
Anyway, Taggart had made his way to the apron. He got thrown in the turnbuckle when he did that where like the Shawn Michaels used to like to float, like hop over and float over and landed on the apron. And then he had the idea to use a headbutt against Congo Kong.
Oh, man.
He headbutts Congo Kong, and then he just falls over.
Would you guys ever headbutt Congo Kong?
Yes.
I think I did once, only because everything else wasn't working, and I just tried it, and
It didn't work,
it
did it?
did not work.
I'm almost positive. I think if I cross his path again, I'm gonna stay away from the headbutt because
Yeah,
I feel like he's gonna chew off my nose.
Stay away from the headbutt, dude.
Yeah, he'll
Well,
catch my nose like a bullet.
Well, plus it just doesn't work, you know?
It just doesn't. It doesn't work.
It hurts you and not him.
I mean, I even tried because we talked about the button on the jaw.
That's true.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I even tried to aim for that sucker. Nothing. Still. Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a button.
I mean, he's got one. It's just very, very small.
It's on his belly.
I mean,
Okay.
I've been able to pin Congo Kong, but I had to go for the spinal column, man. I had to go for that back of the head.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So his button's on the back of his head. Jeez.
I'm pretty sure it took like 3 of them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now you have like the fairs where you can arm wrestle like the town strongman.
Yeah.
They should just have a booth of there's people lining up just trying to headbutt him and see putting dollars down on the table and he just stands there and headbutt.
That would be corny as fuck. I love it. All right. What else?
Put him on an aircraft carrier, fly in Lex Luthor to try that.
Oh, jeez.
They fought around the outside for a little while, just all the way around the ring. When they got back in the ring, there was Congo Kong had got it knocked down, and he was laying over the rope, like looking at us. And Taggart pulled Sean in and was saying his leg was hurt or whatever. Referee Sean. And then obviously Kayla was supposed to go attack Kong, but she walked over and started to check on Taggart, and then remembered, and then she ran over, and right when she got to Kong to hit him, he popped up and looked at her and scared her back away.
Yeah, there was a fascination between Kong and Kayla Cassidy that she was not interested in. He, however, seemed interested in her in some
Story
respects.
of my life, Kong.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What else happened here?
Kong hit a giant belly-to-belly on Taggart.
Oh, my
Man,
God.
that just looked
Unbelievable.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was like a collapsing building is what that was.
Well, they were doing some, they weren't doing a bunch of small man spots or anything, but they were doing some regular wrestling stuff, and when it's two giant dudes doing that, it's just it looks crazy, so it was awesome.
He went for a cannonball in the corner. Kong on Taggart. Taggart luckily got out of the way, but this still kind of took us to the end of the match. Taggart missed a clothesline, and right when he missed it, he turned into one from Kong, and Kong pinned it.
Kong pinned our boss?
Pinned our boss.
I like Kong. Why is he got to do that? You know one of my favorite moves that Kong does that I think that not everyone thinks is that great, but I just fucking love it, is a thing where he'll shoot a guy into the ropes and then he just kind of jumps into them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a splash, but it's I'm just going to stand here splash kind of, It always just looks terrifying. I don't know.
It is terrifying.
I can imagine, yeah. So,
that is a lot of man just coming at you, man.
Bust that one out every once in a while.
there you go, see? You got to get Kong to teach it to you, but, he doesn't speak, so I don't know what you're going to do there. Maybe if you try to headbutt him and you headbutt him hard enough, then you'll earn his respect.
This is a bad strategy there, Andy.
Well,
I eat my nose.
I'm just trying to do something.
I'll do some other things, but I just don't
Buy
want
one of his T-shirts.
There you go.
I don't want my nose.
Or just pay him. Maybe then he will do that.
Everybody understands money.
That's true. What else you got, Dean? We had some stuff that happened after the match,
after the match, when Kayla was checking on Taggart, Kong picked her up, he licked the side of her face, and that pissed off Big Cuz, because you came out to the ring and you beat up on Kong.
I did.
What was your
what's his motivation?
What were you doing here?
Well, it's quite simple. It's pretty much the same thing with Drew Dillinger. Congo's walking around IWA locker room acting like, he's bigger than everybody, but he ain't.
All right. So what is your game plan for me?
My game plan is to attempt to get a match with Congo Kong.
Oh, okay.
And show everybody what I can do to a guy who eats noses.
All right.
Okay. So
That's
Aaron,
good reasoning, right?
Yeah, Aaron, what do you think? Aaron, you've done many dastardly things to get a guy to fight you. What do you think? Is this a solid plan here?
I think it's a solid plan. I think you get what you want.
Okay.
Once you get there, I'm not sure if you're going to like it, but my best of luck to you. So.
Yeah, just avoid the headbutts.
Yeah,
and watch out.
headbutts.
If he shoots you into the ropes, watch out for that scary thing he's going to do where he just stands there and jumps at you, So, saying.
Also, if you're ever on the ground, be prepared. He's probably going to fall on you.
Yeah, oh man. My God.
Ouch.
Watch out for that cannonball.
You should get a pair of those swimming goggles that cover your eyes and your nose, and then he can't bite it.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
think the best course of action for anybody who's listening to this would be to come to the IWA. Was it next week or is the trial show next week?
I'm pretty sure it's next week.
Yeah, next week. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
It's the best course of action.
There you go. You know, or you can watch it on IWTV if you're not in the area.
100%.
But anyway, what else? What happened
Well,
after that?
Kong's not the only one that wants a piece of Big Cuz,
Uh-oh.
because Drew Dillinger hit the ring to even the odds up, and you guys had shit going on the rest of the night.
Yeah, what's this guy's fucking problem? This Drew Dillinger guy.
He's a straight fuckboy. Like,
Wow,
I mean,
okay.
all right, so
Been hard with
y'all haven't like seen what's been going on between us. Like,
Tell
that
us.
guy speared me on purpose. He says he didn't, but he says he didn't do it on purpose. He said it was an accident. And I was in the way, but that's bullshit. So I
Never been in the way, right?
never.
Never.
So I kicked his teeth out in the match that we were tagging together, and I left.
Okay.
And
Did you guys lose the match because of that?
he lost the match. I didn't lose nothing.
Oh, weren't you on his team?
Well, not after the killing of his skull.
Oh, okay, so the ref excused you?
No, I just left.
Okay, fair
All
enough.
right.
You-
Kind of how I did college.
Because excuses himself, right? Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I was just like, nah, like, screw this guy.
When
And,
you were a kid, like, and you were done eating and everybody else was still eating, you didn't, like, even ask. You just got up and left, right?
No, you get more if you're eating. Like,
Well, I'm just saying, you didn't have to ask your parents, like, can I be excused? You just fucking got up
No,
and
he
left.
definitely did.
I don't think I've ever uttered the term, can I be excused, ever in my life. So,
No,
yeah.
You just did.
Well, it's a first for everything.
There you go.
Because what you would say is, am I free to go?
I've actually said that quite a few times.
Good one, Pete.
I ate my vegetables. Am I free to go?
Am I free? It's like, well, am I free to go and am I allowed to leave are the same thing.
That's
low-key.
fair. That's
And
fair.
I've said that to a certain law enforcement officer plenty of times throughout
yeah.
life. So,
I don't know nothing
I
about
just
that.
look at him.
well, I don't recall. So,
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Very good. Awesome. All right, so after that, what happened, Dean?
We had a match. Reverend Ronnie and Unforeseen Perez came out, and they
With
brought
Kayla?
back out Kayla Cassidy.
Again?
She was all over the place.
Yeah. Much to the dismay of the crowd. They did not like her.
Well, you know. What you gonna do?
She turned them all down for dates, too. They're all like, jerk.
And then their opponents, Alice Crawley and Jonathan Wolf.
Iffy. Yeah. So Iffy was in the house tonight. We heard the that sounds just like it, right?
Great radio.
If I put Shazam on right now, it would tell us what song that was.
It was right on the money.
do you guys know what IFHY stands for?
It stands for I fucking hate you. Or
Yeah,
Indiana fucking hates you.
I wish that's not what it stood for, and that was just your response to Cuz.
Hey, we almost just got
Stands
ran
for shut
over
the
by
fuck up, Cuz, I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
I wouldn't say that to Cuz.
No, I know.
But yeah, we just the semi is trying to drive us off the road while all that's going on. Good times. You know, we've talked about this before, but on these ride home in the middle of the night, it's just us and trucks. You know,
Yeah.
and these fucking trucks screw with the cars on purpose. They are dicks. They got nothing else to do. Get some fucking satellite radio, truck driver. Do something else. Listen to a podcast. How about
Yeah.
that, fucker?
Maybe drive off a cliff. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, or that. Well, I mean,
Whoa.
our goods need to get to the store so we can buy them. You know, truck
Also,
support.
human life, bro.
Well,
Well, when they
Life
don't
is
have any
important.
regard for yours,
Well,
it's fair game out here. It's
I
Mad
mean-
Max out here, bro.
all
That's
right. Well, to be fair, we don't know how far they've been driving. They could just
Yeah,
be
true
nodding
that.
off.
True that.
bring us
Feel
back
bad.
to earth here, Dean. Where were we at?
All right. Why are we talking
So,
about
starting the match would be Perez and Alice Crawley.
Yeah.
And Perez worked very safe with her and sold very well for her.
God damn, this kid, man. I'm really impressed with, like, okay, so he's still a very young wrestler, right? And, you know, like, his strikes are a little rough, and there's a couple things that, you know, aren't quite, like, you're not committing to them as best as you can. However, man, when he was selling for her and getting up for moves, he was just committing 100%. Awesome. He made Alice Crawley look like a fucking monster. It was great. Love it.
He's got a lot of potential. A lot of that potential stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Once Perez was already knocked down, and Jonathan he does the Viva La Raza, and he does it, and then, like, after he hits it, he kind of taunts for a while, and then he goes back out and does it exactly again, says it again, Viva La Raza, and does it again.
Does the shimmy.
Yeah.
And then he goes to do it a third time. And Reverend Ronnie comes in and lays on top of Perez.
He was trying to protect him.
I think he was like, do it to me, do it to me.
My turn.
The crowd's really popping for this shit for some reason.
Well, what's hilarious, too, is that when he did it the first time, and he said, Viva La Raza, Reverend Ronnie goes, man, you white! Which was hilarious. That was really funny. I was cracking up about that. What else you got to eat?
At one point, Perez got on Reverend Ronnie's shoulders, and then they did like a fall on a Jonathan Wolf where it was both their body weight.
I think it was on Alice, actually.
That's right. It was, what do you call that? Like a electric chair senton?
It was a
piggyback senton.
Okay, there you go.
That's why you guys got me here.
Well,
Kind of.
yeah, that and lots of other reasons, you know.
This happened twice with each team getting away with it, where both people on one team would double pin somebody. When Jonathan Wolf and Alice Crawley did it, Perez or Reverend Ronnie broke up the count, and then back, like center of the ring, they did a series of kicks, splashes to Jonathan Wolf, the Twisted Bliss, whatever.
He calls it like the dick drip or something like that.
The dick drip?
Or the full drip or something. I don't know. But yeah, something like that.
Then Perez hits that on Jonather Wolf, and then they double pin him, and he kicks out. That really buried both of them for him to kick out of a series of tandem moves and a double pin.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the double pin unless it's like an ECW. And it's like or it's like a tornado match or something like that where it doesn't matter.
Or it gets the win.
Or that too. Like a rejects match. If they do a fucking double pin, okay, the rejects can do a double pin. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know.
I feel like Viking Warrior Party has done it a couple of times too when they hit their double and then they do like the menacing to stand over. But if they're gonna kick out, it really makes the one team look bad.
It's true.
And then I can't even remember. I just have shenanigans at finish, and I know that Ronnie and Perez won, but there was a lot of different back and forth stuff that was happening. Oh, I remember now. And I think Ronnie did a really good job on this because sometimes people will kind of rush the finish. He was pinning Alice, and he waited for Aaron to get down, watching the shoulders before
Referee Aaron?
Referee Aaron.
Thank you.
Before, you could tell he was going to do it because of how close he was, but he was getting ready to put his feet up on the rope, but he didn't do it. Like, he was pinning, and then it wasn't until Referee Aaron was down looking at the shoulders that he put his feet up. Like, he knew to kind of be patient about it, not rush to the finish. And then with his feet on the rope, Kayla grabbed his legs and held them on the rope. I mean, Alice had no chance of kicking out of that much pressure.
No, so much pressure, and I mean the extra pressure on the outside, the leverage on that pin. This is one of the most airtight pins I've ever seen.
It's pretty like a Twigger.
Yeah, nobody's kicking out of that. Fat bastard. Yeah, baby.
Mini-me.
Do I make you Randy?
Don't
answer that.
$1 million.
Who does number 2 work for?
Freaking lasers. Can I get some sharks with lasers
attached to their freaking heads?
Yeah, please. How about no? How about no, Scott? Okay. So all right.
Like a
there was a good chunk of time there where like every person that I would walk up to would be like, "Yeah, baby," about everything, and you'd be like, "All right,
bring it back.
All right, enough.
Bring it back. Baby.
But the carrot swing, baby."
All right.
Wasn't funny then. Still not funny now.
How dare you, sir?
I know. I'm the worst. If everybody thinks something's funny, I'm like, it's not funny at all. It's fucking stupid.
Grouch.
Guess what movie I hate?
What?
The Hangover. I don't think it's funny at all.
I don't really.
Don't even get it.
I don't dig the
fucking
Hangover that much.
I like it. I'm sorry.
They don't remember what happened the night before, and they got to piece it together.
Yeah, I like that movie better when it was called Dudes, Where's My Car? I mean, it's the same fucking movie. So
I love Dudes, Where's My Car?
You know,
dude.
And then, like that. And
Where's
then,
your car, dude?
no, and then.
Do we get a break after that, Dean?
Yes.
All right. After that, we had single intermission, and this is where we need to get a quick tutorial from Big Cuz on how to give a proper choke slam without killing a dog. So let's hear how this works here.
So first, I'm going to tell you how to give a choke slam to somebody for total devastation, and then I'll tell you.
So this will kill a dog.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So the way I like to do it is I get to a point where I get really fucking mad.
Okay.
And then I grab the throat really hard. You got to have full hand extension when you grab it. You can't be none of this cup in your hand bullshit. You got a full hand extension on their goozle right there.
As if you were trying to palm a basketball.
As if you were trying to palm a fucking basketball.
All right.
Friend.
Okay. All right.
And then you just...
A fucking basketball.
Yeah. And then you just yoke them up.
Who makes those?
I think Spalding.
Wilson?
Spalding
You know?
or Wilson,
Yeah.
Then you just launch them straight up, like as straightly up as you can, and then just let gravity and your shoulder muscles do the work, and then just obliterate them once they're already in that position.
Once they're down on the ground and they're either dead or incapacitated in one form or another, what do you do then? You're standing over them, you're looking down at them. I mean, do you gloat a little bit? Do you
I kind of
growl?
think in my mind, like, you hate to see it, you know?
You just killed somebody.
Because I'm sure he's got, like,
You count to 3 and then you raise your hand.
He's probably got a mom.
I'm sure he's got, like, parents and a family, you know? Like, well, your kid made a shitty decision that night.
He knew the risk.
But to not kill a dog, I guess you would just have to start with step 1 and just not be angry.
Okay.
And then do it with the intent of not to hurt a dog.
No, that's not going to work.
I think there's a fine line between that.
Should like placement have anything to do with, like, maybe should you aim for like a bed or a soft
Probably a bed. Anything on the floor is just not the move.
Okay.
Even if you got an air mattress, you ever see people blob?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Okay.
And that just
Sometimes?
tragic.
What if you start with a sitting dog, and then you take the neck, and then you just push it over, and then it lands on its back, and then you gradually work your way up, and you just kind of, figure out as you go.
Well, and the dog can kind of work up a callus to it, so it teaches the dog how to bump,
or your dog
properly.
can hide in the laundry room for the rest of its life because it's terrified of you, and it's tired of being...
Well, Mandy's dog is not allowed in the laundry room, so...
Alright, well...
She gets goozled if she's in the laundry room.
Mandy, just don't be mad when you do it, because if you're mad at your dog and you choke slam your dog, they will be down for the 1, 2, 3 for sure.
Okay.
For the dogs that are listening, how would you block a choke slam from Mandy?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know if you. I mean, try the stretching technique.
Yeah.
Or
bite, scratch.
Or, don't go in the laundry room when you're not supposed to, maybe?
I would start with not shitting in the living room.
Don't potty in the house. Let's do that.
Okay, just poop outside, pee outside, not
If
inside.
the dog uses the bathroom in my kitchen, I'm low-key going to choke slam it.
All right, well, there you go. That was single intermission, and after that, we got another match, right, Dean?
This match was between Ace Perry and Dean Jacobs.
Okay, so first of all, we got somebody. Your brother's name is Jacob, so we got basically they're just stealing your family's name for this character, this guy here, Dean Jacobs. Saw him last time I was at IWA, and who was the other guy?
Ace Perry.
Ace Perry. So we were talking, and I asked you when the last time you saw Ace Perry was, and you said you think it's TPI 2017. Versus Shane Strickland.
Yeah, it's definitely the last time.
God, it just doesn't seem right, man. That match was spectacular, by the way. That is also available on IWTV. Go back and watch that. You can see Aaron Williams win the TPI, too.
The first time.
Yeah, spoiler
That match
alert.
really raised my expectation for this match. was a little let down.
Oh, sorry, bud. This match was slower than I thought it was going to be. You know, a lot of the matches tonight started off real slow and picked up steam over time, right? This one in particular was kind of slow at first, but once they kind of hit their groove, then they're rocking and rolling, right?
I feel like it's possible that they had worked out what they wanted to do, where they wanted to go for the finish of the match, and then they had to fill in an extra 5 minutes at the beginning, and this was the part where we were kind of struggling for them to work through that.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the match, Dean. I know you got tons of notes over there.
I don't have hardly any notes. My notes started to go. The more laughs I was getting from Andy, and there was the guy next
Cole.
to us,
Yeah,
Cole.
we had this guy named Cole. Not Cole Radrick. Other
My
Cole.
focus switched from telling jokes. From notes to jokes.
Yeah. You were getting some pops from the crowd, Dean, and so you were like, fuck the notes. I got all these jokes I gotta tell, right? Well, what didn't you like about the match, Dean?
It built slow. It didn't really get into like anything exciting until the ending parts of the match.
How do you guys as wrestlers feel about this? I mean, okay, so your typical wrestling match has your 3-act structure, right? You got your shine where the baby face is, he's doing his shit, he's doing his moves, and you know, finally the bad guy uses some kind of heel tactic or something like that to take over. They beat the shit out of the baby face for a long time. We call that the heat section, and then there's the comebacks, a couple cutoffs, and then you get your finish, right? How do you guys feel about matches that either skip the shine or, you know, or just mix up that structure so much that it's kind of, you know, unrecognizable to the normal fan? Aaron, what do you think about like going straight into the heat and stuff like that?
I don't mind it, honestly, because I'm all about the story. So I feel like if your payoff is good, then you can pretty much get away with anything, in my personal opinion. Because every story should be different. Not every match should be shine, heat, you know, all that jazz. Every match should be different. And if it's not, then I don't really think you're trying hard enough. However, there are some matches they can like do that in a lazy way as well. There's a lot of matches, if you go back in like the 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, even like the Attitude Era, that will start with the babyface down, and then the story is the babyface has to come back. So as long as you make a good, successful payoff to a comeback, then your story is complete, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I feel like that depending on who your babyface character is,
That's also very
it's obviously important. I feel like that the shine is the most it's the most expendable part of the story. You know, it's the part that you can skip. Like, you know, in some of those matches you're talking about, like maybe time got cut. You know, and they're like, shit, we got to get right to this. So they know they have the story to tell with the babyface coming back, so they have to fucking do that part. So they just skip the first part altogether. I am not necessarily a fan of it always, though, especially when you got a guy in the ring like Ace Perry. I want to see Ace Perry do cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
However, Ace Perry's character's changed a lot, and he's kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
But he was, you know, he's playing the role as the face in the match. However, he was doing all kinds of heel shit, and he was like, I'm not doing cool moves. Hey, you bald guy, you know, you want to see me do cool moves? Nope, not doing it. Pretty sure that's what he was thinking the whole time. So, now, cuz, I'm sure you're a big fan of skipping the shine, because then you can just kill a guy quicker, right?
Overall, you know, I'm a big fan of the creative aspect of wrestling. Like, I you know, change it up, make it different, you know? Like, why not? What do you got to lose? Like, it's...
Well, a match.
Because, you never... Well, yeah, but, I mean... But you never know. Like, you know, you can hit somebody with something you don't hit, or, like, you can try a different approach to your opponent. Like, I don't know. I'm just all for the creativity.
All right, mix it up, people, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, put the finish at the
Creative
beginning. Why
ways
not?
to knock somebody out.
That's how Goldberg matches go.
That's true.
Super
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah, no shine, no heat, no nothing.
Finish
Just
in the
finish
front,
in the
baby.
front. That's it. So,
It's different.
it's awesome. Well, it got over, didn't it? You know? All right, so, Dean, how did this one shake out? I mean, I think both these guys are pretty good. I'm happy with this Dean Jacobs guy because I've seen him twice now. I've been pretty impressed with him both times. I thought he did a pretty good job. Ace Perry, tremendous wrestler.
Ace Perry's great.
I mean,
you said he changed his character. I mean, his character, if you pay attention to his stuff on, like, Instagram or Twitter or whatever, it's actually kind of deep, and I dig a deep wrestling character, man.
Well, you know, he's kind of emulating Shawn Michaels, I think, a lot,
There's
too.
a little bit of that.
You know, with the heel Shawn Michaels, you know, type of stuff, and I think that's a big part of it. And also, I think that Ace Perry is one of these guys that could do both very easily. I mean, he's like a really good-looking dude, and he's like one of these guys that you might see and be like, I hate you because you're so good-looking, or I might be like, hey, I want to be that guy's friend because maybe I might get some trickle-down, you know, who knows? So,
if I recall correctly, I think he's like void soul at this point. I think he lost his soul to Eddie.
oh, okay.
So that's a large part of the character change that he's gone through.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to follow that a little closer. Sounds like he's going to stick around at IWA for a while. So, what else we got here, Dean? How'd this one shake out?
In the finishing parts of the match, Ace hit 4 stunt cutters.
Oh, 4!
One, like he sprung out of the corner and hit one, sprung off the ropes and hit one, sprung off the ropes again and hit one, and then he held on to his head and like stood back up with him, hit another one out of the corner, and then pinned him.
That's right. It's 4 Ace Crushers, man.
Crushing.
He had to do that many to put this guy down. So we're putting over this Jacobs guy pretty big as far as like that was kind of like that's one good thing about IWA is that guys don't lose for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they do wrestling right as far as like the guys that lose get put over, if that makes any sense, you know? So I know that's kind of the opposite of what I'm saying, but what I mean is that they get over in the loss, you know, which is the way wrestling's supposed to work. So I hate that when guys get buried, but what are you going to do? It's just, anyway. But yeah, I mean, it was a good match and everything. Ace Perry wins, and then he grabbed the mic and he had some stuff to say. Do you remember this, Steve?
Yeah, he was talking about, I guess he's been gone a little while, but he was mainly speaking on not having a belt, any IWA gold in the history of being an IWA performer, and he said that he was coming after the big belt, and he wanted to be the IWA World Heavyweight Champion, and then he said, in 2, you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. So he's got a second thing he's looking for. We were thinking, well, Dean said it must be TPI, and I was like, well, that's like a year from now. So
yeah, but what would be your number? Like, what's bigger than? Like, I feel like it has to be bigger than the first thing that you said to go for. You want to say, I want to win the World Heavyweight title, and then, you know, I kind of like to have a really good match with somebody. Like, I can't think of a second to that. If that's the first thing you're going to do, what is bigger at IWA than the heavyweight champion?
Me,
Aaron. Yeah, because it's
because you've won the
tall.
TPI, and that's what he wants to do.
Touche. You got to point that.
Physically bigger.
I mean, he is physically bigger, yes. Because
go.
he's the biggest cuz. Isn't that right, Andy?
Yeah. And not my cuz, but
yeah.
But
Why don't you just tell him about us, Andy?
there's nothing to tell. You know, we're cousins.
He is just.
Yeah, I'm from Russia.
I ain't gonna let it go. I ain't gonna let it go.
Don't ever let stuff go. That's the other theme of our podcast. Like, education first, you know, is the first theme. Second theme is don't ever let anything go, ever, please. It's funnier that way. So, anyway, all right. What was the next match?
The next match was Raul Romana going up against Chaos, and we are going to take this straight to the finish. I think this was the wrong spot on the card to put this. I felt like it should have gone much earlier in the night. Nobody was really into this match at all. It was over when Chaos, he went kind of to jump over and do a leapfrog, and Raul ended up headbutting his crotch. It took him down, and then he hit a pile driver, pinned him, and it was over.
There you go. Yeah, it's a quick one, you know. I don't know. It just seemed out of place a little bit, this match. I don't really know. You know, it was an unannounced match, and there was always three. You know, in IWA, there's always already 800 matches announced, so it's like when they add the extra ones, I'm just kind of like, all right. This is how I feel as a fan. It's just like, okay, so the show started at like 7:30, and it ended around 11, right? That's a long show, you know, and that's how every IWA show is, which I like it. I want to get as much wrestling as I can. However, it's a weeknight, you know what I mean? I could do without, you know, the extra match you want to throw in there, but whatever. It is what it is.
Or the meetings.
Or the... All right. What was the
next match was Big Cuz.
Oh my God!
Going up against Larry D.
That's my. I mean,
Oh shit.
that's this guy I know in the back.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
man.
and my mom's boyfriend, Larry D. Oh my God! It's all in the family.
It's a family thing.
Yeah, but I'm not family with Larry.
Right. Yes. Now you guys both hate Larry. However, you
Yeah.
both respect Larry.
Yes.
Because Larry D helped train you.
I was brought up by Larry D. Yes.
How? I mean, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of this match here, and then but I just wonder. I mean, this is like student versus teacher here. I mean, how'd you feel about getting this match?
I felt good about it, man. Like, you heard me talking about it, like, when we was pulling up. Like, I really was feeling good about it. I was feeling really confident. Going in.
You were feeling so confident. You were talking all kinds of shit on your way out. You were telling fans to shut the fuck up,
course.
and you were saying "fuck this"
Because they need to shut the fuck up while I'm trying to wrestle out here.
Well, I am not used to hearing you say words like that in the context of a wrestling ring. I was happy, to hear it. I was like, yeah, tell this fans to shut the fuck up. Bunch of fuckers.
It's not hard. All you gotta do is say it.
That's right. Well, I'm just saying. Next time you're in NWF, I'll remind you of that. Just be like, it's not so hard. Just say it. Just say fuck in the middle of the ring.
Don't put me in that situation, man.
Come on, cuz, say fuck.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. All right, so D, tell us about this one. This match was awesome.
Before we get into this match, I got a guy that I want to talk about, because I had said to you that with Larry's entrance music being great to do a white boy dance to and everything,
this is pretty funny.
how much I would love for the guy that we saw at Rockstar, Big Pound, to come out with Larry D and just dance around in the background with his grill and his grin, and just, I don't know why, so I want to get, do you know who this guy is, Big Cuz? Were you still kind of going up to date when this guy showed up?
Big Pound, that's my guy.
Okay, he's your guy, okay.
That's my guy.
Dean is fascinated by this guy.
The first time I saw him was at the Rockstar, the January pay-per-view. And I was like, I hate him and I love him at the same time.
Oh, bro, you gotta understand, like, Big Pound, he's cool, bro.
We described him as like a 90s record producer.
Yeah.
I want him to put out some 8x12s.
Let's do it. Sign us fake petition.
I was gonna go up and put out the fist, and when he hit it, he'd be like, "Oh no, that was a little pound, man. Give me the big pound." Pound it.
Love the Big Pound, bro.
Dean loves his dudes. So anyway, yeah, if he were to come out, or just like if Larry ever had a Titantron, and it's not Larry at all, it's just Big Pound just dancing with like a shitty green screen behind him, that would be amazing. So let's make that happen. Impact Wrestling, come on, sign Big Pound just for that, and then fire it.
And Aaron,
if you sign Big Pound just for that.
Quit wrestling
Yep,
altogether.
Been like, all right, this is just getting ridiculous now.
Well, maybe they'll sign you. You can just dress up like Big Pound.
All right, that's right. Cussing ridiculous right there.
All right, tell us about the match. Oh my God.
so right from the start, we had a test of strength.
Yeah?
I'll take it.
How'd that go for you, Big Cuz?
I felt good about it. I mean, at first he was getting on me a little bit, but turned it around on him, for sure.
How much do facial expressions play a part in the test of strength?
Well, I'm just gonna say it bluntly, bro. Like, you ever take a gigantic shit and not wince? Like,
Ooh, Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is, man. Like, I don't know.
You know, I make a mean face. I don't wince. You know, like a baby. I just, you know, like I'm being pinched or something. I make a mean face. Like, yeah,
Good for you.
I'm pretty sure you're throwing some cousinly shade right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I show that shit who's boss.
Because who does number 2 work for?
I got a stick that I bite down on.
Dean he chugs whiskey, and he has a stick wrapped in leather that he puts in between his teeth. And it's just...
Bite down.
Oh, man, the scene in your mouth.
Wow.
I mean, if the squatty potty can make money, that's I'm going to start selling that on Amazon.
I bought a squatty potty for somebody for Christmas.
Oh my god.
And I asked them one day, I was like, so how's that working out for you? They just looked at me with the most deadpan look and said, I don't know how it works. I don't think I'm doing it right.
Oh, man.
I don't think I'm doing it right.
I was blown away. I didn't know what to say.
What?
They're probably using like a squat rag and just standing in front of their toilet. And like, come on.
Come on. You gotta teach them the wince, man. You gotta teach them they didn't come with a stick wrapped in leather.
I mean, it's not really like the type of thing you're like, hold on, let me come over there and show you how to work this.
Yeah.
You know, you just got
Figure it out,
All
bud.
right, brother.
Yeah, figure it out, bud.
You could sell it with a side of a cup book so you can hang it wherever.
Oh gosh.
All right, Dean, take us through this. We're running low on time, believe it or not. So,
I want you took a clothesline to the outside. The first time you did that, how scared were you when you do that backflip when your feet just land on the outside?
Oh yeah, at first I was like, oh, I'm about to tear my legs up. I'm about to tear my ACLs, my ankles. It's about to be over. But then once I figured out the center of gravity on it, it's a solid escape plan.
It looks more terrifying when it's slow, like when someone clotheslines you a little too low on the chest so you don't propel yourself, and it's like almost like a teeter-totter going over. Like,
well, it's scary because at that point it's real.
Yeah, man.
It's like really scary.
At this point, you guys were fighting on the outside, and I'll have to say you made a bit of a rookie mistake because you were covering Larry pretty well. You were winning the best of the exchange, and when referee Aaron got to 9, you stopped your attack on Larry to roll in the ring and break the count. When in IWA you get to 20. So that break that you gave, when you rolled back out, Larry even said, 9 more seconds, motherfucker!
Classic rookie mistake by the big guy there.
that was great.
I appreciate you just owning up and living up to your mistakes.
Hey,
you know
man,
what?
that's all you can
We
do.
live to fight another day.
This is the mobile HQ. You know, this is where truth lives. So, you know.
I have made the same mistake as a fan, thinking that the match was over when they got to 10, and then they were hit 11 or
Yeah,
12.
I did too, because I think I yelled at you. You're at 8 or something like that. Because Aaron was
is it that bad that I maybe just wanted to go back to 1?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean,
right off that, so I could add 20 more seconds?
the greatest spot we've ever seen with that particular thing is that John Murray Pro Rules matches were a 99 or 100 count. And so, one time he brawled around with somebody on the outside. It was Jake Manning.
I think it was Jake Manning.
To number 99, then rolled back in the ring. So the ref had to count to 99. He rolls back in the ring, breaks the count, and the ref's like, 1.
It's like,
Amazing. That was great.
Brian.
So you he broke the count. What happened then?
They fought back in the ring. There was one part where Larry was on his back, and you did like, I'm gonna be the big guy. I'm gonna walk on your chest and step over, and it was like you stepped in a bear trap because Larry just grabbed your foot.
Yeah, that was an oh shit moment for me for sure. I was not ready for that. Nobody's ever done that.
Do you think that since Larry owns a Big Cuz shirt with the big footprint on it, that you can purchase from Big Cuz? There's also new shirts, by the way, which are a little different. But, hit up Big Cuz. We'll get his social media at the end to purchase one of those shirts. Do you think since he has that he knew, you know what, he's had that plan all along? He's like, oh, if that motherfucker ever steps on my chest.
So me and Larry at this point have wrestled kind of all over the tri-state. And I think that was another rookie mistake of mine. I think he knew it was coming, you know. I think he was just ready for it, which is why maybe he was down for so long, because he was just waiting for me to step on him, because he knew I was going to do it, and that was a rookie mistake on my part. Tonight definitely snatched me up.
Well, tonight he had to teach you the final lesson, I guess. You know, that's what we got going on. So when did we get to some of these humongous power moves?
Well, the very next note I have was the stalling vertical suplex.
God. Fuck!
How did you get Larry up like that?
No, Larry did it to him.
Oh, Larry got you. Oh, okay.
A little bit more
That seems a little more like it.
Yeah, man. I've never fallen that far in my life, ever, or that hard, ever.
He's a big boy, man.
He's a gigantic dude.
Yeah.
Like that was
huge.
That was huge.
Well, it got me and Dean on our feet, man.
I did
we were like, oh
old,
my god.
like bounce bump, like when you take a big giant bump like that, but you hit so hard that you just bounce off the ring and bump again.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, the ring skirts were like whoosh, you know. It was awesome. That was great. What else did you do, Dean?
After that, Cuz hit the choke slam on Larry.
He hit a big side slam on him too, I think, and he hit the choke slam on Larry, and then what happened there?
After the choke slam, this is when Drew Dillinger.
What?
I'm telling you, he's a fucking fuckboy. Like,
Stay at the merch table, Drew.
Yeah.
And then his go-to comment is, "You said anytime, any place, so that's right now." Like, you don't have the Money in the Bank briefcase, dude. Like, he means name a date and a place and Cuz is ready. He doesn't mean wait till you've just been in the ring with Larry D for 15 minutes.
He said, right now, let's do it. And I'm like, yo, I'm in a war with my trainer, and pretty sure I might have a broken jaw. So, how about not right now? How about later?
I mean, triple threat it would have been, you know, or
but
something.
I wanted it earlier, but he had to bring a chair. Like,
he brought a chair.
I mean, like, that's cheap, right?
I don't care.
Got me right.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't wrong, kind of.
This fucking guy, I can't believe it. Well, Dean, what happened after that?
So then as he's telling you that he wants a match, he's like, "Never mind, just turn around." You turn around to a punch from Larry. You're still on your feet. He punches you again. Still on your feet, then you grab him by the throat to choke slam him.
Instinct, yeah.
He breaks it, third punch, and then you go down like a tree that just was falling down.
Right. Dean was a big fan of that bump there at the end, man. He loved that. That was great.
That last goozle there, man, I knew, like, I was already hit twice, and I was seeing double and shit, and I was like, well, might as well Hail Mary on this one. And I thought for sure I might be able to get it because I got it before. Nope. Got punched again.
Good to know. If I ever got to wrestle you, I got to hit you a couple times.
Yeah. 6 head kicks, I'm thinking,
Probably.
you know. Probably 6.5.
Only because of the size differential.
So how many head kicks does that match get, Aaron? Did you watch that?
I did not get to watch that one.
All right.
But I'm sure it gets like a solid 3.
Okay. All right. 3 out of 3.
3 head kicks and a leg slap.
3 head kicks and a leg slap, that's right.
Just one leg slap.
Yeah.
One leg slap.
Whoosh, whoosh.
That's half the cake, brother. 3.5 stars.
There you go. All right, well, that was a lot of fun.
I got a question for the guys. Had you continued to stay on your feet for the Larry punch, how many times do you think he would do it before you got clocked for real?
Good Lord, he would just kept hitting it.
Bro,
I feel like you could.
That third one.
That's what I think too.
Would have. I mean, that third one, like, did it. Like that. Like, it's 3. Like, that's the number because we saw it tonight.
Eventually, you get rocked so much, you stop clenching your jaw.
Yeah,
So
I'm not just
Larry
gonna.
D's punches hit you when you don't have a jaw clenched, you can just pretty much say goodbye to that jaw.
Yeah, I mean, like, I figure, like, if you're on your back, you can't really fight as well. And so, like, I tried to, I knew, I didn't see the first one coming, definitely didn't see the second one coming, but I saw the third one coming, and it came in almost slow motion, and, yeah, it knocked me down like sack potatoes. It's a hell of a punch.
There you go, Dean. Dean's asking the hard-hitting questions up here.
I'm surprised that he remembers all 3. I looked at Aaron Roll once and just woke up, and they told me he kicked me.
Well,
Yeah, I got that lights out power.
I wouldn't know, because...
Well, maybe your button's a little bigger than, Kong's or Big Cuz,
Bro, you got within choking reach of me
So,
last time, so...
all right, well, what happened after that?
We had a match between Pat Monix and Davey Bang.
Yeah, Davey Bang. So we are going to have to zip through some of these. We only got about 20 minutes left, and we got like 4 more matches to talk about. This was really good. It was for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Lightweight Championship? Junior Heavyweight? Okay, I was right. This was great. Dean, what'd you think of, you've seen Pat Monix, but I don't know if we've seen him in singles matches very often.
No, a lot of times
what'd you think?
we've seen him in scrambles and Dayton or other three-way matches. We did see him singles match at this year's TPI. I think he made it pretty far until Larry kind of put an end to that. I think he's got a lot of skill, a lot of ability to go places.
So this match was interesting. Davey Bang was playing like the straight up babyface in this match. This is another kind of one of those deals where it's a somewhat newcomer to IWA that we're trying to get him over in this match. So we're going to give him an outstanding showing. He's going to nearly beat the champion, and that's going to put him over. But Pat Monix was kind of playing the heel in this match, even though he's not a heel. He was just taking that role, and he was just kind of like, you really want to do this, kid? That kind of deal. And he beat the shit out of Davey Bang. I was very impressed with Davey Bang on his athleticism and whatnot. I think Monix carried him to a really great match. That was awesome. What do you think?
I thought it was good. I didn't love the character of Davey Bang, but he is very athletic. There were a couple of spots where he would come off the top, and he got a lot of height off of the ropes, lots of air.
Towards the end, he got out a can of Bang, because Davey Bang is like Woody from Toy Story, but he has cans of Bang. So, because it's wrestling or something?
It's energy.
Yeah, I don't know. So he grabbed a can of Bang, and he was like loading up like he was going to do some mist with it, right? And then what happened there? Do you remember?
Pretty sure he got kicked, and then Sean kind of got the brunt end of the mist.
It's true. Yeah, Sean, referee Sean, and trying to add that referee every time we talk about a ref, because if someone's listening to this and they don't know who we're talking about, it sounds like a third person just suddenly entered the ring, and they're like, "Who the fuck is Sean?"
Yeah.
So referee Sean. But yeah, Davey Bang did not win the match. I thought this was great. I want to see this one again if I can, This is definitely one I'll go back and watch on IWTV. I think both these guys crushed it. Did you guys get a chance to watch this one at all?
I did not see that one, but I kind of figured it was...
I didn't see this one, but I have seen Davey Bang. I like Davey Bang. I like the energy he brings.
Okay. How do you feel about Toy Story?
Well, how does anybody else feel about Toy Story?
I don't give a shit about it.
You know what? I don't know if I like this whole game you're playing with the questions back, man. Answer a freaking question, cuz trying to dodge all this family stuff.
He's pulling the Aaron is what he's doing back there. I want to hear what you guys
that's
think.
My gimmick, man.
That's
That's my stuff. That's
All right.
my shtick.
Yeah, Toy Story's fucking sweet.
Toy Story is.
Dean, any comments on Toy Story?
I haven't seen the most recent one, and I don't really want to go through any spoilers. So I'm
All
sorry.
right, we'll leave it alone. I'm just going to drop that right there.
All right, so we get Pat Monix retaining his championship in a tremendous match. I highly recommend folks go back and watch versus Davey Bang. What was the next thing that happened? We had double intermission, and we're going to zip right through that and go right to the next match. What was the next match after that? I believe it had someone in the car, right?
Tyler Matrix going up against He Is Danger, Aaron Williams.
What is Tyler Matrix's fucking problem, Aaron?
What do you
What
mean?
happened? Why? He used to be, a really nice dude. Now he's this jerk hanging out with Logan James, and he's pretending like the belt is his penis and flopping it all over the place. What the hell?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly. I think they just hang out. They're a pretty good tag team, I gotta say that.
Oh, they're tremendous wrestlers, but at the same time, they're big jerks. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Tyler Matrix, he comes out, he's flopping that belt around like it's his dick, and he's like showing it to us, and I just was kind of blocking it out, like, man, Come on.
Get your belt penis out of it.
Yeah, get that shit out. Well, I mean, he should get a Richard flap for his Richard.
He probably should.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right?
That's good. Yeah.
Dean, you want to take us through this one?
In the beginning of it, I wrote down...
In the beginning.
If you ever played 007 on Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
and you turned off all the weapons but slaps, there was a part of the match where you guys were just standing in front of each other, chopping the hell out of each other.
Aaron, you have a mark on you. Is that correct?
I do.
What happened there?
I'm pretty sure. Well, he was chopping me, laying in them chops. One point in time, he went to my neck.
Yeah, gotcha.
And he got me. I don't know how he got me really, but I definitely got
Big old bruise on your neck.
So I got him back, and yeah, I won that fight.
Have you ever had a singles match with Tyler Matrix?
Yeah, I had one maybe 3 months ago, I think.
Okay. So it's a little confusing because, Aaron, you've been a jerk at IWA. You've been kicking women in the head. You've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, I mean, yeah, but tonight there was kind of a hint in a non-jerky direction going on for you, or at least just because of your opponents, at least, and the way that things kind of played out tonight. But, Dean, what else happened in this match here?
At one point, he didn't tell us that he was going to become Sting, but Aaron did use the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Oh, yeah.
Was it that, or was it the sharpshooter?
It was a Scorpion Deathlock.
Okay, all right. Oh, thank you, Dean.
Definitely.
All right, thanks for clearing that up.
You can tell he held the leg, like there's a slight difference in the way.
Oh, is there?
Where you step over, if the sharpshooter, you step right. I don't know.
Just making shit up.
It definitely was not the figure 4.
Okay, awesome.
Definitely was not a big.
That's fair.
Broke out that Liger bomb.
You did, yeah. You were posing like Liger. You're really getting that over. You're like, hey, did you know Liger's going to retire? You retired? I'm doing the Liger stuff.
You gotta pay respects.
Hey, man. At one point, you hit that Liger bomb, and then you asked the referee, you said, are you sure that Liger bomb didn't beat you? I was like, we get it. We know you did a Liger bomb.
Gotta let him know.
That was making me laugh. That was so funny. You're right, because half the people probably didn't catch that, but you gotta let them know. Where are we at?
Aaron, you hit what Andy told me was called the Gringo Killer.
Well, sort of.
Variation.
The Gringo Killer
Modified Gringo
is
Killer.
super dangerous. Yeah,
What a maneuver, Gringo Killer.
it is terrifying, and so I don't know. Can you describe how it was different, Aaron?
Yeah, it's the technical term for the maneuver I did is a verticazi,
Okay.
which starts as a vertebreaker or a Gringo Killer, and it kind of flattens out into an unprettier, as opposed to the drilling them on their nose. And I've always kind of liked it. A guy I know that was named Crazy Chris Simmons used to do it, and I like it. So I was like, you know what? I'm wrestling some homicide here in the near future. So I was like, shoot, I'm going to start doing this.
Calling him out. You called him out. You said that's for you, homicide. But it didn't get you the win, unfortunately, so...
Well,
I don't know. You know why?
Very odd.
You know why? It's because,
Because-
man, you white. That's why.
Because
You are white.
I
very white.
I hit that vertebreaker or verticazi, whatever. And I didn't go for the pin. I was like, all right, I hit the move. Now he's dead. Now I'm going to kick him in the head because that's what I do to people.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to do that. And Logan James just ran in the middle of the ring.
Wanders out, yeah. What?
He just ran right in the middle of the ring and then just in one side, out the other. And I was like, what was that? Was that a thing? Did that just happen? Is he the Roadrunner and the Coyote is going to be following after? Like, I don't know what he was thinking. Well, I know what he was thinking now, but at the time, I was like, what the frack is going on?
He was trying to help his tag team partner. And,
What the cuss?
What the cuss?
I mean, so what happened here, Dean?
with that distraction, Tyler Matrix was able to roll up Aaron with a handful of belt buckle and baseball pants and get the win.
Those were the jeans.
Those are the jeans. Well, Aaron, we have not seen you lose very often at IWA.
Doesn't happen often.
I mean, it's like under 5 times I've seen you lose. So, that was a little surprising. But at the same time, I think that was, a surprise for a lot of people there. And right now you don't have a title, right?
I don't.
Tyler Matrix does. So it's got a little bit of an edge on you there. But I have a feeling this is not over, right?
No, I guess it's not. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, trying to pick on little old Aaron Williams.
I'm pulling for you, my guys.
That's where they want to be when Jesus comes back, I guess.
How do you feel about the match? Were you pretty happy with it?
I was pretty happy with it. I do have to give Tyler Matrix a lot of credit, though, because I know he was knocked out from that slap. That slap, he got wobbly, and I knew he was gone, but he was still going. So
He's really good, man.
So I gotta give that boy props.
Yeah, him and Logan James are tremendous wrestlers. They're some of the best guys in that area, so always good to see them. And Big Cuz, you get a chance to see any of this? You got any comments, questions, concerns about this?
Honestly, man, obviously Aaron's a beast, but Tyler Matrix, man, he's I like watching him. He brings an intensity that not a lot of people have, that I feel like he brings out, and he's just a monster.
He's got glorious hair.
Glorious fucking man.
You said so. You had some comments about his hair during the match, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I had a few.
Your hair's cool too, though.
I mean, I was jealous of his hair, but then, I got a way better beard than he does.
I mean, even if you already have hair and you're not a bald man, you're still jealous of Tyler Matrix and his hair, right? I mean, so it's not a bald thing.
Yeah.
So all
like,
you
dude's got great hair.
people out there listening, thinking that we're dipping into some baldism, we're not. So just take it
Ross
easy.
just got great hair, man. That's it.
Guy's got great hair. What are you gonna do?
Now we got to go back, Gary, and talk about the idea to have Taggart and Congo Kong in a hair versus hair match, because they can't have the same look.
They have the same hair. It really do.
Brandon Taggart's is bigger. His hair is bigger than everyone's hair. It's just the biggest hair of all time.
That might be true.
Yeah, it is. So, that's part of the reason that he's too tall. His hair, he's physically too tall, and his hair is very tall as well. So it makes him even more tall. So, anyway. All right, well, this was great stuff, and that led us to the main event, right, Dean?
Yes.
The main event of the evening, and the main event had who in it?
Logan James and Kevin Giza.
That's right. Kevin Giza's come a long way, huh, Dean?
That's like the second time I can remember seeing him. And I only remember the first time because we called him Pizza, and he was with the Swole fucking deal, Adam Slater.
That's right, yeah, that's the Winter Swolger.
And I know I've seen him since, but yeah, he's definitely much more memorable tonight than the first time I saw him.
Now, Aaron, you broke his toe, right?
I did. I turned his toe into a curly fry.
Wow.
Yep.
You guys, you're going to Arby's, you're getting the curly fries, right? You're not, they have the option of the non-curly fries. I don't know
What?
Yeah, that's an
That's
option.
for profiling reasons.
You're tripping. Since when?
That's a real thing, and but nobody's getting that, right? I mean, the curly fries rule,
Yeah.
But here's my question for you guys: what's better, Arby's curly fries or Rally's regular fries?
Rallies.
Arby's.
Nah. You can get out of the car right now.
I mean, we're almost home. We're almost.
I'm gonna agree with Cuz.
Oh shit!
Oh, both y'all. Get out of the car.
Well, you know what, man?
Andy, you're a
had I-
Rallies guy, right? You're not gonna let me down.
I like
bro.
both of them very much. I would prefer Rallies because we don't have them around here. So,
Bald,
Yeah, bro. Them Arby's
That's-
curly fries hit different.
Had I not had Rally's fries very recently, I would have picked Rally's.
Okay.
But because I had them recently, and in my head, I could have got a bad batch. They were better than they were this time.
All right, so technically you're with us. So Cuz is alone. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, what can
All
I
right.
say? I walk
He's alone.
Yeah,
He walks alone.
Inside this pit of danger.
Yeah.
All right.
Place
Well,
where no one follows me.
So Kevin Giza's working kind of an injury angle here where he was out for a little while because of, and that was like 1 week or something like that, right?
Freaking mad, man.
So he's back already. But he was, I mean, he did some masterful selling in this match where he was, limping a little bit to begin. And this match was one that started out slow and built and built and built and got crazier and crazier. And it was super violent. Super violent. It wasn't violent in the way that they were using weapons. It was violent in the way that a straight-up wrestling match can be. My God. I don't know, Dean. What do you think about the hyper-violence going on in this match, right?
Very stiff, very tight. Yeah, it was good.
When these guys are hitting moves on each other, it's that deal where, and I love this. I think this is awesome. And I think a lot of people mistake this kind of wrestling as, oh, somebody's messing up. And we were talking about this on the way up a little bit about one of the matches on Wrestle Kingdom. There was a lot of, moves that looked kind of rough. And that was because Kevin Giza couldn't get both of his feet under him because one of his feet is fucking broken and Logan James, stomped on it a bunch of times,
Yeah.
So, some of the moves looked a little more shoot style. Like if I was trying to do this move to somebody and they didn't want me to do it. And so the kind of stuff that happens where you have this super smooth wrestling because everyone's cooperating with each other and everything, that wasn't necessarily what was going on in this match. It was, guys these two guys are just trying to kill each other, man. I don't know. It was outstanding. I was really, really happy with it. I think Giza's a great champion for this kind of thing. And I would also like to make a little observation that the fact that this match is in the main event, we had quite a variety of matches tonight, first of all. All right, we had some comedy heel stuff going on. We had, 2 Haas matches, motherfucking Haas matches. We had a junior heavyweight match, and then in the main event, we had another junior heavyweight match. Aaron, you've been at IWA the longest. Do you think that that's something that IWA kind of specializes in? Is this kind of junior heavyweight stuff, right?
Right now, yeah, I absolutely do. Especially right now, Kevin Giza is the IWA champion, and then you got guys like Pat Monix, Logan James, Tyler Matrix, all guys that I've had the pleasure of kicking the crap out of, and them kicking the crap out of me as well. And that's where the money is. And then you got other people who are mainstays there, obviously like Larry and stuff that brings the Haas game and steps up for that perspective. And everybody can go with everybody too.
Yeah.
So there's always a unique combination. Even Alice Crowley can get in there with dudes. It can roll with dudes to some extent. And it's IWA brings a lot of stuff to the area, and it's a real good thing. I know we keep talking about IWA TV, Independent Wrestling TV, but I'm really, really glad that IWA is going to be showcased on it, because IWA is one of the unsung heroes in a lot of ways of wrestling, because a lot of guys come through there to get polished, to get better, and everything like that. And their history shows it. If you go through their history, you're going to find names like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, Punk, Guerrero, Mysterio, Cabana, Hero. The list goes on and on of guys who have been through there to hone their skills. And I don't think that has changed at all. I think the one thing that did change is the industry as we know it. IWA has always been hot fire, has always used great talent, and it still continues to. It's just now everything's switching over to this streaming style, and I'm really, really glad that IWA is jumping on that. And now some of these guys that literally do ridiculously crazy things on a weekly basis, and nobody sees it except for the people that are there or the people who buy a DVD. Now it's going to be a thing that they get to see weekly, and that's a pretty exciting thing. So guys like Kevin Giza, Logan James, Tyler Matrix, Big Cuz, a host of others is going to be is going to be highlighted. It's great.
Cuz, does it give you kind of a little bit of excitement with the fact that maybe you might get a chance to mix it up with some of these junior heavyweights that can go?
Of course, man, because, I mean, those dudes, like you said, I mean, they can fucking go. Like, the best match I saw in 2019, the best overall wrestling match, was at IWA. It was Kevin Giza and Lucas Jacobs versus Matrix and Logan.
Yeah.
And that match was fucking awesome. And, like, I was watching that, and I was like, man, these dudes are going to be studs one day. It's, like, not even a question. Like, and the fact that I get to drive, 2.5 hours from home to get to roll around, throw these guys around a little bit, and have them kick my head and whatnot, like, I'm totally cool with it, and I'm excited about it, for sure.
Fair enough. Well, I'm excited to see that as well. Dean, can you, or do you want Aaron to break down kind of what happened at the end? What do you think?
Either or. I'll let Aaron kind of tell us what happened.
All right, I'll try to break it down.
Well, we want to know what you thought about it, Aaron.
All right, so here's basically what went down. Kevin Giza is about to put Logan James away or something, and then Tyler Matrix makes his way out there. And then since IWA title matches are under old school IWA rules, which means technically there are no rules. So if you got a buddy, he can just interfere. So they about to just do that. They about to just do Kevin Giza in. And I happened to notice that Tyler Matrix wasn't around anymore, so I went upstairs and saw that they were about to do Kevin Giza dirty.
Dastardly.
Usually I don't care. However, they kind of did me dirty. So I went up there and I pushed good old Logan James off the top rope. Tyler Matrix got thrown to the outside. I'm pretty sure what happened next. You guys will have to fill me in on this because I went to beat up Tyler Matrix. Pretty sure Kevin Giza got the win, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin Giza got the win, and then efficiently all crap broke loose, and it was just a four-way melee. I started beating up Tyler Matrix. I started beating up Logan James. Logan James started beating me up.
You got a southern accent all of a sudden?
All of a sudden it just happens, When you get excited and you're from the Midwest, it can happen sometimes. So, yeah, we just started fighting, and then the locker room's cleared, and they was trying to keep us apart. It wasn't working very well.
I ran out there to help my dudes out, and Ian held me back and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I might beat up Drew." And he's like, "No, you stay."
Yeah, people were trying to keep us apart. It was failing. I was calling Tyler Matrix a sissy because he didn't want to.
Yeah, you said that a bunch of times.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the first thing that came to my mind. So,
underused term.
we were fighting, and there was a lot of fighting. Eventually, they, parted ways, so I got on the microphone, and although I hate Kevin Giza, right now, currently in my life, I hate Tyler Matrix more, and I hate Logan James all the time. So,
dude, I feel it.
So I was just like, you know what? You fools got them tag straps. I've never had them tag straps. Kevin Giza hates you. I hate you. Wrestle us next week, you bunch of sissies.
There you go. And they, I don't know if they accepted that or whatever, but that's going to happen,
I mean,
so
if they don't, then
you just
right.
You kick them. You
yeah.
kick their girlfriends in the head, and then
I
they'll have to
will.
fight you. So.
They ain't even ready for this one.
Awesome. Dean, what'd you think of the evening?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's
had a good time.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. It's late, I'm tired.
Yay. I understand it is late or early, however you want to look at it. But, so Aaron, what do you think? Anything you want to, you said a lot there. Anything else you want to throw in there?
I don't think y'all need to hear anything. Gosh.
Where can we find you on the internet, man?
You can find me on Facebook at Aaron Williams. You can also find me on Twitter at Planet Williams1. You can find me on the Instagram Planet Williams. He said with great diction.
There you go. Without a southern accent. Because where can folks find you on the internet, and any other comments that you have about IWA or, your evening this evening or anything else you want to say?
All right, I'll do it in order. All right. On the internet, you can find Big Cuz on Twitter at official Big Cuz. You can find me on Instagram as the Biggest Cuz. You can find me on Facebook under Big Cuz. Go like my page. Go see big man shit. You know, whatever. IWA is one of the best shows in this area. If you have not seen it, go see it. I'd love to see you in the crowd while I beat the shit out of dudes. It's a great time. It's hella matches for your money. You'll love it. I promise. And that's it.
Definitely a lot of matches for you.
That's true. Well, you guys can follow the show at the Road Home FW. You can follow me at Drucifer Tweets. Thank you guys so much for listening.
You're welcome.
I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor, terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man. So tick tock and keep ticking.